What if I told you that someone has already influenced your decisions today, not by forcing you, not by threatening you, but by quietly guiding your thoughts without you noticing? Because real manipulation doesn't look like control. It looks like comfort, like agreement, like someone who just gets you. By the end of this video, you won't see conversations the same way again. You'll recognize the patterns, you'll see the techniques, and you'll understand why they work so effectively. So pay close attention, because once you see these patterns, you can't unsee them. Let's start with the first secret. Secret 1. The mirror effect. Have you ever met someone and instantly felt at ease? Within minutes, you felt like you'd known them for years. They spoke like you, moved like you, seemed to think the same way. That wasn't coincidence, it was mirroring. Humans are wired to trust people who resemble us. When someone subtly copies your body language, speech patterns, or tone, your brain registers familiarity. And familiarity feels safe. Your defenses lower. That's why skilled salespeople lean when you lean. Why certain people match your energy perfectly. Why some conversations feel right immediately. Your mind doesn't analyze these behaviors. It just assumes connection. Once that connection forms, resistance drops. You're more likely to agree, more likely to trust. But most people never realize they're being mirrored. They just feel understood. And this is the weakest technique here. The next one makes you lower your guard completely. Secret 2, control through validation. Everyone wants to feel understood. That desire is hardwired. When someone listens closely, nods at the right moments, and reflects your feelings back to you, something profound happens. You feel safe. Your analytical mind softens. And when you feel safe, you stop questioning. This is why people open up to strangers. Why they trust advice too quickly. Why they defend someone they barely know. Validation creates emotional permission, a signal that this person is trustworthy. Once someone validates you, your mind associates them with truth, even if they haven't earned it. Even if they're wrong. The emotional connection overrides logic. Once that forms, influence becomes effortless. People don't argue with those who understand them. Think about your own life. Who validates you? And how much power have you given them? The things get more powerful when words stop entirely. Secret 3. Silence makes humans uncomfortable. Your brain hates unfinished moments. It wants closure. So when someone goes quiet at the right moment, you fill the space. You can't help it. Words rush out. You talk more. You explain yourself. You reveal things you didn't plan to. This is why interrogators stay silent. Why negotiators pause. Why manipulators say less, not more. Silence creates pressure. And pressure makes people act predictably. Humans interpret silence as disapproval or rejection. When someone goes quiet, your brain searches for explanations. Did I say something wrong? This anxiety drives you to fill the void. You can probably remember moments when someone's silence made you uncomfortable enough to keep talking. That discomfort, that's the technique working. And this is where things turn darker. The next secret creates lasting emotional dependence. Secret 4, intermittent reward. The human brain isn't addicted to consistency. It's addicted to unpredictability. That's why slot machines work. Why social media is addictive. Why toxic relationships are hard to leave. When attention comes randomly rather than consistently, the brain releases more dopamine during anticipation. Not when you receive it, but when you're waiting for it. So when someone is warm one moment, distant the next, then warm again, your brain starts chasing the feeling. You're not craving the person. You're craving the next hit of approval. The uncertainty makes it stronger. This is how people become emotionally hooked. How attachment becomes obsession. The longer it continues, the harder it is to walk away, even when you know it's unhealthy. If this sounds familiar, understanding it is the first step to breaking free. Secret 5. Controlling the frame. Whoever controls the story controls the meaning. If someone defines the situation first, your brain follows their version. Listen, that's not what I meant. You're taking it the wrong way. You're overthinking it. Notice, they're not denying what happened. they're redefining it. Once someone controls the interpretation, they don't need to argue facts. They just guide how you feel about what happened. This is why arguments feel confusing, why people doubt their own memory, why manipulation feels subtle instead of aggressive. Perception becomes reality. Whoever shapes that perception holds power. They can make you question your judgment, make concerns seem like overreactions, make their harmful behavior appear justified. The next two secrets lock people in. They create emotional loops so strong that people stay trapped even when they know something's wrong. Secret 6. Withholding closure. Unfinished conversations stay in your mind longer than resolved ones. Your brain is wired to seek completion. When something ends with closure, your mind lets go. But without explanation, it loops endlessly. Unanswered messages, vague goodbyes, sudden distance. Your thoughts replay the moment over and over. What did I do wrong? What did they mean? What if I said something different? Withholding closure creates psychological tension, and tension creates attachment. Your mind becomes bound to the person who left things unresolved. It's why ghosting hurts more than rejection, why uncertainty feels worse than truth, why silence feels louder than words. Your brain craves resolution. Without it, it fills the gap with obsession. That's why people stay emotionally tied long after they should have moved on. Someone who controls closure controls your attention. Secret 7. Making you feel chosen. This is the most powerful technique because it doesn't feel like manipulation, it feels like connection. When someone makes you feel special, different, separated from everyone else, something shifts. Your loyalty redirects. Your critical thinking softens. Listen, you're not like the others. I've never told anyone this before. You're the only one who understands me. It sounds harmless, flattering even, but it isolates you psychologically. Once you believe you're chosen, you protect the person who chose you. You excuse their behavior. You rationalize red flags. You defend them when others express concern. Not because you're weak, but because your brain associates this person with belonging. One of the strongest emotional forces humans have. This is how influence becomes control. Not through fear, but through emotional attachment that feels like love and understanding. Why this works. Most people don't realize this. None of these techniques work because people are stupid. They work because the human brain is predictable. We seek connection, we seek certainty, we seek meaning. When someone understands how those systems work, they can guide behavior without giving orders. They can control outcomes while making you believe you chose freely. That's why manipulation feels invisible. It doesn't feel forced. It feels natural until you see the pattern. Taking back control. Here's the good news. The moment you recognize these patterns, they lose power because manipulation relies on unawareness. Once you notice sudden emotional closeness, inconsistent affection, strategic silence, or confusion replacing clarity, you can pause. You can step back. Ask yourself, do I feel calm or controlled? That question breaks the cycle. It creates awareness. You stop reacting automatically. You stop chasing validation. You stop filling silences that aren't yours. In that pause, you regain control. Not over others, but over yourself, your responses, your choices, your energy. This video wasn't meant to make you paranoid or suspicious of everyone. It was meant to make you aware, to give you tools for protection. Because the most powerful form of control isn't domination through force, it's influence you don't notice happening. It's the gentle push that feels like your own decision. It's the emotional manipulation wrapped in care and concern, and the moment you see it clearly, it stops working effectively. The spell breaks. The technique becomes visible. The illusion shatters. You begin choosing instead of reacting, observing instead of absorbing, thinking instead of assuming, questioning instead of accepting. That's real power. Not manipulating others, but understanding when someone is trying to manipulate you. If this video made you think differently about certain people or situations in your life, that's exactly the point. That discomfort you might feel right now, that's awareness breaking through. and awareness is always the first step to freedom. Now here's what I want you to do. If this opened your eyes to patterns you didn't see before, hit that subscribe button right now. Because once you understand these psychological principles, you'll want to go deeper. You'll want to understand more about how the mind works, how influence operates, and how to protect yourself from psychological manipulation in all its forms. Drop a comment below telling me which technique surprised you most. Was it the mirror effect? The power of intermittent reward? Or did making someone feel chosen hit differently? I read every comment, and your insights help shape future content that serves you better.